Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another week of workouts with me. So my first lift of the week was a leg day because duh. And so for squats especially, I really try to focus on my hips and my ankles while I'm warming up because they are not well. Here is just one of my warm-up sets. I think I ended up taking about 3 warm-up sets, and this was my second time back squatting since I herniated my disc. So a little bit scary, but overall it felt good. It didn't look terrible. I'm pretty happy with it and ready to start, building it back up. So it's a very humbling experience being injured, My first working set here, I'm looking at the camera like, please pray for me because this was a 4x5 on squats at prescribed 75%. I'm just using the percentages to gauge intensity, like where I should be at intensity-wise. I don't know my maxes right now, and I'm so not worried about that. Working set 2 here. You'll see some of the reps, especially later on in this set. I'm standing up through my legs before I'm standing up through my torso, and these should be kind of happening simultaneously. And so here I'm really focused on recruiting a little bit more my quads and really driving through the ground, keeping my elbows down, kind of keep my torso from falling forward. Okay, my next exercise. Here's me figuring out that my RDLs are actually tempo RDLs. So I'm taking off some of that weight because, ouch. I feel like coming off of an injury has really given me a fresh perspective, and I've been rethinking some of my movements that, I've been doing for 6 years. So I feel like I've had them figured out, but there's always, I feel like, room for improvement and better execution. So those numbers that were on the screen, the 4, 0, 1, 0, that is how, like, shorthand for tempo. So that means a 4 count eccentric, no pause at the bottom, 1 count to come up, no pause at the top. So here I'm really focusing on making the movement about my hips traveling backwards away from the bar, and when they stop moving backwards, and bringing them back up to the bar. I used to find that, or I guess I still struggle with this, going past my active range of motion. So I would bring the bar a little bit lower down my legs to the point where my hips were no longer traveling backwards. It wasn't really doing anything for me. So I'm trying not to do that anymore. Okay, this is a hamstring curl, a standing hamstring curl, and I don't really like this machine. I don't feel like it fits my body super well, but it is what my gym has. I prefer a prone leg curl situation, but it's okay, we make do. And then we have some kettlebell swings. Oops. These are kind of a newer regular exercise for me. I didn't used to do them very frequently, but I love them as an alternative for cable pull-throughs because I hate those. In this, you're still getting a hinge and then the glutes in the shortened position. So last exercise, some walking dumbbell lunges. And these are killer every single time. I'm just really trying to push through that front foot to stand up rather than push off the back leg. As much as possible. And then if you do struggle with balance on these, take a little bit wider of a stance, and that should help. But that was the last exercise. Brutal. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another week of workouts with me. I just got home from the gym. Today is Monday, July 11th. It is beautiful, finally summer in Seattle. We've got sunshine, we've got 80 degrees, and a nice downhill walk home after leg day. I am looking for something to eat post-workout. So my workout routine has been not so much routine lately. We were in France for almost 2 weeks. We came back, I worked out a little bit, and then my parents came to visit, so we did some hikes and outdoor stuff, and I didn't really want to spend, you know, an hour every day in the gym. Regardless, it's been a minute. I'm trying to get back into a solid routine and a consistent program. So today was technically week 2, day 1. It was a lower body day. I did back squats you saw. I'm gonna get some water, and I think I'm gonna do some nachos for my post-workout snack. Here we have it. Good morning, friends. It is Wednesday, July 13th. I am making some breakfast. It's like 8 in the morning. I have to leave for work soon, but I'm just eating my breakfast first. And I know that I've been slacking with my protein intake, so I'm really trying to kind of work on that this week. I don't know if it's going super well. Every now and then, someone will come into my DMs and be like, you're eating way too much protein. Nobody in the United States is suffering from a protein deficiency. Why are you eating so much protein? To that I say, you have a point. At the end of the day, you don't need to be eating a ton of protein to survive. There are studies and guidelines to support eating more protein if you're an athlete, if you are lifting, if you are trying to gain or maintain lean muscle mass. A higher protein consumption is gonna help support that goal. I'm about to leave to go to work here in like 10 minutes, but after I get off, I'm gonna be lifting. We got an upper body day today. Chest day, best day, am I right? This is my first upper body day of the week, and it is a bench day, which is, I think it used to be my favorite compound, but I think that deadlifts have taken that place. But I'm just getting set up here, and here's a little peek into my warm-up. Warm up your shoulders, guys. I know so many people with shoulder injuries, and I am not one of them, but you know, at the ripe age of 24, my shoulders are starting to get clicky, so trying to be careful about that. And then I'm rolling out because my upper back was sore from squatting, and then this cat-cow and thread the needle situation is for my T-spine, because my rhomboids, man, they're so sore all the time, and that has been helping a lot. I took my first warm-up set with just the bar and realized that my lats were not firing. So I did some band work here to try to get them to do their thing. And then I took a couple more warm-up sets, but we're getting right to the good part. This was my first working set, and it was actually not good. It just felt super uncomfy. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and blame it on a crooked bench, but in reality, I felt like I was losing the scapular retraction. My lats, again, were just not creating the tension that I was looking for, and it just felt wobbly, like one side was getting up to the top before the other, and I couldn't find the right position on this bench. And then here's my third working set, which I'm not too mad about. It definitely looks better than the first one. It's not too shabby. I like my bar path here. It's not bad. Oh, yep, there we go. Lats, baby, lats. And here we have my final working set, aka the set where it started to finally feel good. This was my best working set, I think. And yeah, finally things were clicking. I felt stable. My bar path is not too shabby. We're kind of looking for more of a J curve. So it's gonna come straight down for the first portion of the rep and then swoop forward a little bit till it gets to the bottom of the rep, and then same thing on the way back up. Then we have a single arm dumbbell overhead press. Squeeze your glutes to keep your torso up and angle your elbow in about 45 degrees just to protect that rotator cuff. So here we have a chest-supported row machine. I'm trying to target my lats, so I'm gripping the machine as low as I can and thinking elbows to hips. Being a short girl in a gym equipment was just not made for us, okay? It just wasn't. So nothing really fits perfectly, but it is what it is. This isn't terrible. I was getting pretty fatigued at this point. And then here we have some over-the-shoulder dual cable tricep extensions. These are one of my new favorite tricep exercises, and I've just been really enjoying them. Focus on keeping your elbows still, just like with any tricep movement. You really want the only moving part to be that extension and flexion of the elbow. Last exercise is this rear delt cable crossover, and something about this exercise, I've never been able to go above 5 pounds. Okay, it is just so hard. But this first set looks pretty uneven to me. Like my right side and my left side are not doing the same thing, and my right shoulder was causing me a little bit of pain. It was doing the clicky thing, so I'm really trying to focus on fixing that for this set. I still think it could be better, and I think that I could adjust the cables to target my rear delts a little bit better, but I'm not mad about this. And little physique check here for you. I do feel like I have some back gains, and rear delts were something that took me so long to be able to feel that mind muscle connection for, so I'm not mad. Hello friends, and good morning. Welcome back to another day. Today is Thursday. I'm eating my breakfast right now, and then I think I'm gonna work for about an hour or so and then head to the gym. I am going to try to allot a little bit more time for my lift today because it's a big day, all right? I'm barely recovered from my last leg day on Monday. Today's Thursday, and I have another leg day. I looked at my program. I saw back squats, deadlifts, and hip thrusts. My hamstrings and my glutes are so sore. I'm probably gonna take it a little bit easier today. One thing I'm really trying to focus on with my training right now is not pushing it to the point where I can't recover well from it. I feel like I can tell a really big difference when I'm eating enough protein versus when I'm eating lower amounts of protein in my recovery. I know last year, I guess it was like a year and a half ago now, I was going through periods of months where I was never not sore, regardless of how many rest days I took, and I just don't want that for myself. My training so far this year has kind of felt like it's been all over the place. Last month was primarily focused on ollie lifts, and I'm not really doing those right now very regularly. I'm kind of getting back into a hybrid powerlifting bodybuilding style workout routine training style, and this is definitely where I feel like I'm the happiest. But I do want to start bringing some of those ollie lifts and movements back into my schedule. It's just hard, honestly. There are so many different things that I want to do. Like, I love taking cycle classes, I love taking boxing classes, reformer Pilates, I want to take more dance classes, and I want to play tennis, and I want to get into running, and I want to power lift, and I want to bodybuild, and I want to do Olympic lifts, and there is just not, I just don't have the capacity to do all of those things all the time. So having to prioritize and pick and choose when to bring different elements in, when I like to switch it up and explore different things. But I feel like the powerlifting bodybuilding style training is always going to be my bread and butter. So that's where I'm at right now. I had every intention on leaving early so that I would have a full hour and a half for my workout, but that's not happening. I think I'm gonna have 1 hour, and maybe not even that because I need to leave right now. I got caught up in my work and I just lost track of time. This is the Barilla protein pasta, the rotinis, and there's not like a ton of protein in here. Is that a lot? I cannot tell. Just one more scoop. I'm literally running late and I'm like fine grating some Parmesan cheese. It's funny to me. Take your creatine today. Protein shake, pasta, because we didn't make any protein.
RDLs? Trip, fall.
That would be so bad, actually. That would be so bad. Oh my gosh. And if you started bleeding, I would have to pass out. So. And it's deadlift, squats, and hip thrusts.
Nice. Not right now, I'm not, but I usually do.
Nice. I didn't start doing that until like last year.
I always have.
It makes it's better. It's just better.
I usually rest like 2 minutes.
I think it does like make a difference. This was a tough lift, but I'm really happy to be deadlifting again with absolutely no back pain. Like, it felt so good. I'm so pleased with this. This is my warm-up set. Also, this week I tried lifting without shoes on, and it made a really big difference. I definitely recommend it if your gym allows it, but also nobody warned me. I dropped a 10-pound plate on my foot and I stubbed my toe like 7 times, so it is a hazard. But here is me realizing that I could definitely use a little belt support. I typically wouldn't use a belt for anything under like supermax effort, but I'm worried about my back, and I loosened my belt here so that it was not squeezing me tight, and I was really having to use my bracing to push out against the belt to fill that gap. And this first set is like fine, right? Like, it's okay. But I do wish I would have stopped and reset a little bit more before each rep, but oh well. I do think that my stance could be a touch wider. And I know it looks like my hands are super wide. They are, but I'm trying to catch as much knurling as I can because my grip strength sucks. But overall, I'm really happy with these. I feel like you can tell how hard I'm working to drive my feet through the floor and pull through my legs, or rather like push through my legs instead of pulling from my back. Okay, so yeah, we're getting into squats now, and I was gonna shoot for 115 for my working sets. I ended up going for 105 just because I was still pretty pretty gassed from the leg day that I had that Monday. But what I'm noticing as I'm watching these clips back is that I am still having a little bit of butt wink that I would love to get rid of. So I'm trying to get to parallel, but my depth is it's such a struggle because of my limited ankle mobility. So, you know, gonna still keep working on that. I don't know why I'm like rushing through the set. Like, why are you running? She's going so fast. Relax, relax. That was a good rep. I like that. And then here's my last working set. I think that whole situation with that butt wink and everything, it's happening, one, because I have weakness in my quads, and two, because of my ankles. So I've been working on that. And then hip thrusts. Like, what a trifecta of pain and suffering. Are you kidding me? I just did 185 for these 4 sets of 12, and yeah, I don't know, these felt really good. I was happy with them. I just finished my hip thrusts, and that's the last thing that I'm going to be doing today. I did have more planned, those last 3 things, but I started work almost 30 minutes ago and I had to finish my lift during my shift, which I don't really like to do, but I would not have had the capacity to finish the lift regardless. I'm pretty done, you know. This lift probably would have taken me 1:40 to 2 hours to complete, and I kind of shortened some of my warm-up sets because I was taking that at a lower intensity. Like my back squats, I had a prescribed 70%, and all my sets felt like an RPE 6 or 7-ish, probably closer to 6. That's fine. Usually takes me about an hour to get through deadlifts, or an hour to get through squat, or an hour to get through bench, and I totally just forgot how long compounds take, because especially with bench I find that I need a much longer warm-up, or else, like yesterday, my bench didn't start to feel good until my last set. So I'd say we got a nice little pump action today. Okay, I have to go do my job. Welcome to week 2, day 4, aka my last lift of the week and my final upper body day. I started off with some assisted pull-ups, and these pull-ups are looking rough. Not to make excuses for myself, but my lats were freaking on fire. Pull-ups have honestly always been a big weak point for me, very much a struggle, and I just haven't been working them consistently since I took that long hiatus from lifting. So there's definitely a lot of work to be done on here. My bracing, my shoulders, my wobbliness, overall not the worst thing I've ever seen, but also not great. Next, I did pendlay rows, and these are rows that come to a dead stop between every single rep, and they require you to be bent over a lot more. So you can see my torso is like pretty much parallel to the floor. And same thing, as I row, I'm driving my elbows back and in. And I used to hate pendlay rows, but I love them now. And then here we have a dumbbell incline bench. This was really targeting my anterior delts more than my pecs. If you thought those other rear delt cable crossovers were rough, buckle up because these are these are worse. If you can just take a look here, my left arm is like on its way out of the country, and my right arm is also, I mean, a little bit better, but I still feel like I'm not quite in the right at the right angle to be working my rear delts. This is a different view, so you can't see as well, but I did feel like the following sets, I adjusted them to the point where it did feel more even and like I was recruiting the right muscles. So, and then a little hack, if you didn't already know about this, I attached a little 2.5 pound weights to the stacks so I can go up by smaller increments. This cable Y raise, I'm still trying to figure out the right distance away from the cables, but this has been one of my new favorites for the medial delt. Like, man, I just feel so much activation and I feel like I've seen a lot of growth. The last exercise that I had was these dumbbell bicep curls. My obligatory once or twice a month bicep work, and if you can see that my grip is supinated on the way up and then it rotates to more of a neutral grip on the way down, and doing this little rotation is going to work a little bit more of your forearms. All right, that is gonna wrap up this week of workouts. I've been doing 4 days a week and probably will continue. That's like kind of my sweet spot. I think anything more is a little bit too much, but I like having the ability to split up my days a little bit more to manage recovery better. But yeah, that's that. I hope that you found this entertaining or informative. I love being able to go back and kind of critique my form and check things out, even if you're not making a whole YouTube video out of it. I definitely recommend taking form videos and then either throughout your session or at the end of it going back to rewatch them. I think that there's kind of a common misconception among people who maybe are not as experience in the fitness space, where filming yourself is vain or weird or cringy, but at the end of the day, it's going to help you improve your training, and your movement execution matters the most when it comes to your gains. So you can be doing workouts all day long, but if you're not getting the right tension and contractions, and your form is wrong, you're not going to get the benefits. So take form videos. That's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.